Alright, here's the first impression of a sword that I'm getting my hands on temporarily. I'm going to send this on to someone else, so I won't be able to test it, but I can at least tell you about what it looks like up close and how it handles, all of that. It's made by Deltin, and I've never actually owned or reviewed a Deltin sword. This is called a Gothic hand-and-a-half sword. To me it looks like a regular longsword, and I certainly wouldn't consider this to be a bastard sword. It's got a pretty long handle, and using this with one hand would be a little awkward due to the size, because it is quite long, and it has a certain heft to it. Now it's not overly heavy for its size, so that's a good sign. It's not one of the liveliest swords that I've handled so far, but it's not bad by any means. This model here is the DT5157. There is also another version, which is the 5155, which has got a narrower blade and is lighter. And this one here is the brown handle version. There's also one with a black handle. It's got the half wire wrap, as you can see. On Cult of Athena it says that it's made of chrome vanadium steel, which of course is rather general. From what I've read, Deltin uses, or at least used, 50 CRV4. I don't know if that's still the case, and that's reasonably similar in performance to 5160 spring steel, which of course is a high quality steel. The hardness is 50 HRC. To me it seems a little bit too springy. You can see that it wobbles quite a bit, so a little bit concerned about that. I don't generally like overly flexible blades. Now this is not a floppy noodle by any means, but it is a little bit on the overly flexible side, by my standards at least. You can see this is pretty easy to flex. Again, not ridiculously so it's not terrible. This may not be a problem. I've just personally had some issues with blades that were flexible enough to actually interfere with the cutting and just not handle right. Now, without having used this, I can't really say. It's certainly more flexible than I personally like, but again, it doesn't have to be a problem. And interesting thing is, I read that the original that this is based on in the Royal Armouries Museum in Leeds is supposed to be a forgery, according to the curators. They think that it's probably made in the 1890s. So this is actually not apparently a historical shape, even though this doesn't look too far off. There are some Gothic swords that are reasonably similar. This could have been made at the time, even though the original apparently wasn't. That's quite nice here with the cutouts on the guard. This is a very tall guard compared to most others, and weight isn't a problem because of all these cutouts here. So that looks quite nice. The surface, though, is a little bit sloppy here and there. It's got some uneven grind marks and scuff marks and various other things that definitely detract a bit from the appearance. The blade overall looks fine. It's got a couple of minor little scratches here and there, which probably came from storage, but I don't really know what happened either way. So looks decent enough, but for $500 or close to $500, I would have liked to see a bit more care taken with the finish here. One other thing that bothers me is this pin right here. Now, it sticks out quite a bit. This could have been fitted much more closely to the handle, and it would be nice if it was flatter as well, because this is just, you constantly feel it in the hand, like it pushes into your fingertips, and it's just it's annoying. I just want to cut it off. This is really kind of superfluous and makes it handle less comfortably than it should. The twisted wire wrap is nice though. It looks pretty good, it feels good. It doesn't look quite as perfect as what Arms and Armor does, for example, but it also doesn't cost as much. Pommel again has like some hints of pitting here and there, so again, not stellar finish. It's a full tank construction. This could have definitely been polished some more. Looks a bit rough and rushed. The blade is reasonably straight and even. It's not 100%, but there are no major deviations either. I can't say anything about the edge because it doesn't have one. All Deltin swords come with a blunt blade, apparently due to the laws in Italy. These are made in Italy, by the way, if you didn't know. And so it shouldn't take too much to sharpen them. The handling's pretty good. As I said, not the absolute liveliest longsword I've ever tried. I really don't have space in here. But yeah, it's pretty good. Can't really complain. Otherwise, what I also very much like is that the gap here in the guard is minimal. So this is really nicely fitted. That's a good sign. So yeah, this is probably about as much as I can say, without actually testing it. Whether or not the structural integrity is good, can't say. It is peened, that's good. The fit is good, so those are definitely positive signs. So I wouldn't expect this to fail, but you never know, right? So yeah, not bad overall. Pretty good sword. Definitely seems appropriate for $500. Now, it's generally not that easy to find really good stuff in kind of the mid-range. You have lots of budget-priced swords, of course. You have, Windlass and Hanwei, etc. You've got quite a lot of options there. And then you've got the higher-end stuff, Arms and Armor, Albion, and all that. And then in the middle, Deltin is really mainly solidly in the middle. They usually tend to be between 400 and 600. Anyway, time to send it on its way. I hope you found this first impression helpful, and thanks for watching.